YouTube, it's Jess. I'm here for my first update. I'm actually going to do a couple of videos today. I go in for my surgery tomorrow, so I'm going to do a couple of different ones so that they're nice and short. I'd just like to start though by saying thanks to everyone that watched my video. I really appreciate it. And to everyone who posted comments, thank you so much. And to my subscribers, I really appreciate you subscribing, and I subscribed to a couple of people who subscribed to me. So thanks a lot for that, and I'm really glad to be part of this community on YouTube. So like I said, I'm going to do a couple of videos today. So this first one, I'm going to talk about OptiFast intensive stage, which is sort of the pre-op diet. I know in the US a lot of vloggers from there have been mentioning Bariatric Advantage as the shake that your surgeon recommends. In Australia, I think a majority of the time it's recommended that we do OptiFast. I was told there are different levels you can do of it. A couple of people I've spoken to were able to do 2 shakes and then a high protein, low carb meal for dinner. I was told to do 3 OptiFast meals, like basically no extra food, just the OptiFast. But as part of the intensive OptiFast, you are allowed 2 cups per day of low starch green vegetables. Pardon me. So firstly with my vegetables, I would either do a salad with iceberg lettuce, or Woolworths have just brought out a wasabi lettuce, which I find is it's like a little tray. It's next to the squeezy herbs, and it's lettuce that sort of has a peppery taste of wasabi. So I definitely recommend that for something a bit different. And then I do tomatoes in that, cucumber, sometimes capsicum, and then I do fat-free dressings. I wasn't initially doing fat-free dressing. I just do my own with some balsamic vinegar and my teaspoon daily allowance of olive oil. But I did get a bit sick of that, so I noticed my dietitian said you're allowed fat-free dressing, so I got the Woolworths brand fat-free balsamic and fat-free French, so it was good to alternate that a bit. The other way I did my veggies was with a soup. My best one was a cauliflower base, like a spiced cauliflower soup with cumin, ground coriander and Mexican hot chili, which was sort of a chipotle style chili powder. Plenty of onions, and then the cauliflower and whatever other veg I could fit in my pot. So it would be usually carrots, Brussels sprouts, broccoli and zucchini were the other vegetables in there. And then afterwards I would blitz it up with a bar mix, like a stick mixer that you just put straight into the pot. But I wouldn't puree it to 100% usually, because I wanted to have a bit of texture. As far as the OptiFast shakes go, I'm a big fan of the coffee shake. I would have that basically every day for breakfast. I was completely happy to have a coffee shake, but I would add extra coffee. Before my intensive OptiFast stage, I was adding Nescafe short black coffee, but during the intensive they say decaf is preferred. So I use my Magic Bullet, which I got my Magic Bullet to use during my sort of shake stage and puree because it works so brilliantly. And I actually ground up Nescafe decaf and made it into a powder instead of it being granular, because I find the granules don't dissolve as well into a shake. So I would definitely recommend doing that for anyone. I guess if you don't have like something that would blitz it up yourself, you could, although I would definitely recommend getting something for the OptiFast, and then you're on purees, liquids and purees afterwards. So if you're doing weight loss surgery, what better investment than a stick mixer? And you can pick up the stick mixers pretty cheap anyway. I did get a Magic Bullet, but as price per use goes, it's worked out so economical for me. But yeah, so I'd say make the coffee granular, but you could just sort of bash it with a rolling pin if that's what you need to do. but I would add, because I liked it a bit sweeter than how it was, so I would either add Splenda, like the granules of Splenda in, or I would use this one, which is a stevia product. The brand is Cabot Health Nature Sweet, and it's stevia. It's got no calories, no carbs, no fat. The difference between this and sort of just getting a stevia product, but even between this and the Splenda, is that it's like a gel consistency. So I found I didn't have to worry about was it going to dissolve completely. It was already dissolved, so it just had to mix through. I found that really great. I would put in 4 drops, usually was fine, but I do like things sweet. I know some people complain about the aftertaste of it, but I found, because I wasn't having any sugar, that I didn't notice the aftertaste. The other product that I would use is, and I would definitely recommend getting this, is Queen's Maple Flavored Syrup, and it is a sugar-free product, but it's got the taste of maple. This does have 18 calories per 35 mils serving. It's 53 calories per 100 mils. It does have 15 grams of carbohydrates per 100 mils, so it's like 15% carbs. But it's got 0 fat. It does have 0 protein as well. But as far as adding a flavor, like for this, to put it with my coffee was really nice. It was almost a caramelly maple flavor, which was really delicious. But even more, I would use it when I made my banana shakes. I usually had banana shakes for lunch. And I found if I put the maple syrup flavoring in with the banana, it actually tasted like a banana honey smoothie. So it didn't feel like a diet shake at all, which was really great. So I would definitely recommend that. As far as different flavorings, you are allowed essences, the ones you can get from like Queen's essences that you, I'll just say quickly as well, this is next to the maple syrup and dessert toppings in your supermarket. I got it from Woolworths, but I would definitely recommend it. I also got another topping which isn't at the grocery store, but it's from a website I found called imsugarfree.com.au. They have a lot of sugar-free products. This one is a diet top shake, which I would use if I made the strawberry shake to add a bit more strawberry. It's got negligible protein, negligible fats, and it's only 0.5% sugars, which is nothing, and 10 grams of carbs per 100 mils, so 10% carbs. But as far as adding some extra strawberry flavor, this was really good. It also made it a bit pinker, I guess, so it sort of looked more appealing, but it is a sugar-free product. So I found as far as sweetness goes, it's not very sweet, but it did add a bit of sugary flavor. The other diet toppings, I would definitely recommend the chocolate and caramel. I think they're really great. The Cottee's diet, it is a bit harder to find them sometimes, but if you can, it's great to mix it up a bit. As far as the chocolate shakes, I'm not a huge fan. Chocolate Optifast, I would add coffee usually and make it into a mocha, or I would add the diet Cottee's topping to make it more chocolatey. The other addition, especially for chocolate, that I liked, these are Loran oils. It says oil, it's not an oil, it's just a super concentrated flavoring. Loran is Loran oils. I will write it down in the description of this video. I found this when I was looking for cake decorating products, and then had a look at the website, and all of their oils are, well, they're not oils, they're flavorings, but all of them are sugar-free except the maple one. So that's why I was really glad I had the sugar-free maple syrup to use. But this one, you can buy all different flavors, different fruits, different sort of desserts. This one's vanilla butternut, which I find goes really well either with my coffee or chocolate ones. And you only need a couple of drops. So this was like $2.50, I think. But you just need a couple of drops and it gets that flavor. So the other one I used was an English toffee, and that just adds a nice bit of flavor with the chocolate. So that is my recommendations for the Optifast. I would say get a magic bullet. If you're ever going to get one, now's the time to get it. When I first saw the ads, I thought it might be a rip-off, but as far as price per use goes, it's really worked out well for me. I also use it because I like to, they say use really cold water with your shakes. I like to actually have ice and water and make it in sort of a frappe style. So I find the Magic Bullet works really well for that. In the morning, but really, I mean, I like the super tall cups because I get to add more water and it sort of feels more like a meal rather than a smaller cup. But I would definitely recommend having either a stick blender or a Magic Bullet, like something to actually blitz your shakes up. So yeah, that's about it for this one. I didn't want it to go for too long, but good luck with your OptiFast stages. I had to do it for 4 weeks. I didn't think I'd be able to, but I was. I found what really helped me was for my first week, like basically the night before I started my intensive OptiFast, I went through and chucked out anything that I wasn't allowed, sort of half open packets of stuff, and filled the fridge, like went to the shops, filled the fridge with all the veggies that I could have, so it really looked abundant in my fridge, that I had a lot of choices for what veggies I wanted. And also just had my shakes lined out on my bench in the boxes with my Magic Blender there, also to sort of give the impression of, look at all the choices I've got. So rather than feeling restricted, I felt more like I can choose whatever I want from this. So having that choice for me is really important. And then with my different flavorings and toppings, I was able to mix and match as I wanted. So hopefully this hasn't gone too long. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any other recommendations for sugar-free products or ways to improve OptiFast shakes, I'd really appreciate your feedback. I'm sure I'm going to need them during my liquid stage and afterwards. Like, I really like the OptiFast, so I'm sure I'll do it again. But thanks a lot for watching, and stay tuned. I'll do a couple of other videos today because my operation is tomorrow. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.